Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Waste of Web Space's Christmas Advent Calendar, or Jimbo and Fisher's Christmas Advent Calendar. There's only 10 sleeps to go until Christmas, and that's a graphic that we may put in this bottom corner just here, or just here. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to do in terms of graphics. We may have had a nice opening to this thing where I told you about what today's episode was going to be, because today I'm going to talk about the Christmas pudding. Jimbo touched on this briefly in his episode a few weeks ago when he was talking about Christmas food in general, but I'm going to be a bit more specific about Christmas pudding. And Christmas pudding is obviously quite a popular food to eat at Christmas time. It's got some money inside it normally as well, and sometimes if you get to bite into the money, you can keep it. Although apparently this year Rishi Sunak has asked that we send all that money to the government just as a way of helping to pay for the coronavirus pandemic, just to kind of get a bit more contribution back towards the country. As well as that, it's also a well-known football formation. If you're a fan of the film Mike Bassett, England Manager, I think he played the Christmas pudding formation. Although obviously today is quite a sad day for football managers, as the former Liverpool manager Gerard Houllier passed away. It was very sad to hear. Apparently a lovely bloke, although sometimes his attitude was a bit Houllier than there. But yeah, as I say, Christmas pudding, lovely thing to eat. Camels, they quite like Christmas pudding. I mean, as the old joke goes, how does a camel get to Christmas pudding? It goes through the deserts. Sorry, it goes through the desserts. There we go. But yeah, so it's a popular food. A lot of people like it. It's also quite big and heavy at times. And I once saw a marathon runner trying to do his race when someone threw a Christmas pudding at him. And he sort of like, it hit him, but he managed to carry on running. And then he got to the next corner of this marathon race and someone threw some chutney at him. And then they threw some cheese. And then they threw some like fancy biscuits. And then they threw sort of a small bottle of gin. And then they threw another Christmas pudding. Then they threw some mint sauce. And then they threw some other condiments. At the end of the race, I said to the marathon runner, I said, "What happened, mate?" He said, "It's terrible. I was running along, but I got severely hampered." But one person who's actually quite a big fan of the Christmas pudding is Fred Astaire. And he once went to a very, very posh lunch. It was a full-on, wearing his full dinner jackets, absolutely everything on there. But unfortunately, when he was having his meal, he got a lot of Christmas pudding down his outfit. Very, very sad, very disappointing. He had to take it to the dry cleaners. And the dry cleaner said to him, "Fred, what's happened to you?" He said, "Oh, it's terrible. I mean, I've got Christmas pudding everywhere. I've got pudding on my white tie, pudding on my top hat, pudding on my tails." I'm sorry, that is a terrible joke. I do sincerely apologise. But if you like some of Fred Astaire's songs from the 1930s and 40s, then that might be the kind of joke that you would like. But there we go. As I say, Christmas pudding is a very popular dessert. It's very popular with a lot of people. Although I did hear that last year one person sadly drowned in a bowl of Christmas pudding. He was taken under by a strong current. So thank you very much. I will leave you to it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Christmas break. There's only 10 sleeps to go until Christmas, and I think Jimbo should be here tomorrow. So thank you very much. Goodbye.